Lastly, I got a question. How do you get more out of your samples? So let's talk about it, and I'm going to demonstrate. Let's get into it. How do you get more out of your samples? And that's a great question, man, because a lot of times we have samples and we don't know what to do with it, or we think we could do more with it. And shout out where you're from. If you make beats, shout out what's your weapon of choice and all that good stuff. And we're going to work with a sample from the Patreon kits that I do every single week on patreon.com/Verysickbeats. I will leave a link down below if you are interested in joining. Let's listen to some of this sample. Yeah. To get the most out of the sample, you have to listen to the entire sample because you don't want to miss anything. So I've already done that. I'm not going to do that on this video because of copyright issues. So listen to the entire song. So that's number one. Always listen to the entire sample because you don't want to miss nothing. Don't just listen to the first few seconds and be like, no, I don't hear nothing. Or you might even skip around. You know what I'm saying? It's called needle dropping. And you might not hear nothing. And then you get bored and then you skip to the next song. Don't do that. Listen to the whole song. Even if you need to be doing chores or something and you just playing something, because a lot of times you might catch something on accident and you weren't even making beats. You be like, oh, what was that? And then you come back to it and save and come back. You know what I'm saying? You can do that kind of thing. I do that all the time. Also, the next thing is using stems. I mean, that's a great way to, I mean, technology has it where we can separate stuff. So if you want to just get vocals out of something, or if you want to just get the instruments or like the keys or the bass, you know, you can do that nowadays. So I like this chop right here. That's pretty dope. I like that. So in this track, I can hear bass, I can hear horns, I can hear guitar. And that's the one downfall of these stems, because a lot of times you might want something really specific, but it's just going to give you all the instruments together. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. I love this part though. I like that. So for me, what I'm listening to is that melody. I like the choir, the background singers, but I don't want the lead. So how could I get the most out of this? Use the stems. Watch this. I can still hear the background singing, but it took out the lead. See that? If I put it back in, pause. If I put the lead singer back in, you had that, but if I click on this mic, then it's just, and then I can also add the rest of the instruments in there. With the bass, you hear the bass? So I might want to even use that bass by itself. And this is how you utilize a lot of the sample. You know what I'm saying? You're getting the most out of the sample by isolation. See what I'm saying? So we can come back to that. So I just want to get this part. And you're going to have to mess with EQs after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make this real simple. Let me do some time stretching. That's another thing to get more out of your samples. Do not be afraid to time stretch if you have to. Because sometimes a chop might be too short. So you have to time stretch it. And that's what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. That's all I want. To get the most or more out of your samples, then you just process it to make it sound how you want it to sound. So I'm gonna use hex effects, see if we can color it up some. I like that. All right, cool. So now what we can do is, using the same sample, we can use the bass. Now watch this. This is the same exact sample, but I'm gonna isolate the bass. Check it out. Hear that? The drums were in there too, but I don't want that. I'm gonna take just the bass. We're talking about how to get more out of your samples. Can y'all hear this? Let me turn this up some. See that? So now, and I can also add some EQ to this if I wanted to. Let me change the key. Let's go up a half step. So that means I need to do that for all of them. All right. That's two different chops, but I'm using more of the sample. See what I'm saying? You have to listen to the entire sample. That's what I'm saying. So you got this chop, and then this one. I think I'm gonna start with this one first. Yeah, let's try that. Let's add some drums to this, man. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, like I said, we're making the most out of this sample. We're going to try to get the most out of this sample as we can. So, same sample. I'm going to get some percussion out of this. Can y'all hear that? So let's mute out everything except for the drums. In other words, we're going to isolate the drums. Hear that? That sounds kind of like a hi-hat or a shaker. So let's, I mean, we might as well use it. Why not? We try to get the most out of this sample. All right, so now I'm gonna add my own drums, and I will have links to everything that I'm using down below if you are interested. Another thing to get more out of your samples is layering. So you get the idea based off what you already sampled, and you can just layer the same melody. Like this bass right here. You can hear those notes, but you could add your own bass on top of it. So let's do that. Maybe a sine bass. See, by itself, that's all I did. A couple of notes. Now, same thing with the vocals, right? Even though I can hear the sample from the vocals, I can use the sample to get melody ideas. This is how you're going to get the most out of samples. So use the melody from the sample to create your own melody, or just to layer it, you know? So I could maybe add keys to this. Sound is up to you, it don't matter. Something like that. So So that's how you get more out of your samples, man. There you go. So I started out with this loop right here, this sample, and review from its original state.
Meus olhos choram a falta dos teus.
I listened to the entire song and found the chops that I like. You know what I'm saying? I changed the key and then I isolated using the stems. That's how you're going to get the most out of these samples. And then after you do that, layer the melodies from the samples just using extra sounds. I think that's a good strategy to use the most out of samples as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Including the percussion. Again, we just got the percussion just by isolating. Y'all saw me do it. That right there. See, if I don't do that and put everything back in, see, I wouldn't have been able to do that separately. So I use this by itself. So I use that as a percussion element. So now everything together. Alright, y'all, if y'all like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I will leave a playlist, or you can watch this video next. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm sending peace and positive energy.